Right then, let's see what the rags are saying today. You just gotta throw it in there sometimes. See, I'm recording now, but I know what I've done. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well today. I really do hope that. Namaste, my sweet friends. Welcome back to Chelsea News daily series here, of course, on Football Therapy, where I react to what's being said in the headlines, giving my opinion, but more importantly, asking for yours. Today, we're talking about wingers. That's right, wingers might not be desired so much under Thomas Tuchel. Could he be looking to the Bundesliga for a new wide forward to replace a current one? Yeah, we're gonna get into that today. It's quite interesting. Do subscribe, hey, only if you want to, but if you do choose to, hit the bell notifications icon to be the first to see my uploads. And they're so topical, you wanna be the first to view it. You can drop a like if you wanna show your sweet support. And go check out Football Yannick, where I'm doing daily uploads as well about transfers in world football, and I'll be covering the Euros. Today I've uploaded a video talking about how Emi Buendia snubbed Arsenal to join Aston Villa. Massive story. Click the link in the description to go check out Football Yannick. Right then, let's get into the first story of today and react to some Hakim Ziyech reports. Yes, this is something I've discussed before, but it's in the headlines again today, and it actually sets me up nicely for the second story of today's video. Now, we don't know what's going on in Thomas Tuchel's head. Obviously, there's a lot to be sorted out when it comes to attack, and of course, the main issue is seemingly a centre forward. But we don't know how Thomas Tuchel is reflecting on his current wide forwards. Remember, none of these players are his. If you said to him, pick 3 forwards that you want to keep, that you trust, that you like, he would probably pick Kai Havertz because of, just he's the most confident and he's silky, he's got talent and he's got so much to come. He probably would say Timo Werner because he loves his work rate and his understanding of his pressing system from the front and executing instruction. I think he really does value that. I mean, just look at his decoy run in the Champions League final to see Havertz score to them two. And he'll probably be seen as a forward in the front three, Mason Mount, Chelsea's player of the season. Now, there'll be shouts for Christian Pulisic, who's done well for Tuchel at times, but he hasn't always been trusted. But maybe Pulisic, Ziyech, and Callum Hudson-Odoi are sort of in a peculiar place where they don't know where they stand in Thomas Tuchel's, I don't know, belief, I was gonna say belief ranking. I'm not gonna edit this out. This is me being weird. Thomas Tuchel's belief ranking. Anyway, this is not me criticising those players, by the way. I love all of them for different reasons. And if you've watched Football Therapy over the last couple of years or so, you'll know that Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, and Ziyech are all, I think they're all magnificent players. But we don't know what's going on in Thomas Tuchel's head. And the reports are suggesting that Hakim Ziyech could be the one to suffer. I mean, he's the oldest, and I don't want to say he's disappointed the most, but maybe considering of what we thought he would bring and what I thought he would bring. Now, I know he's excellent, I've seen it, and I wouldn't necessarily want to see him go personally. But if he does, you sort of understand it. I'm at the point now as a Chelsea fan, as many of you are, as in like, whatever happens, just trust the gaffer because he's won us the Champions League and got top 4. Do you know what I mean? You have to give him the ultimate trust. I mean, obviously certain things are off the table, like don't sell Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? Or Kai Havertz or Reece James, or anything. And then there was a few other untouchables. But there's some things that might make you feel a bit uncomfortable, but you just gotta trust the gaffer. Anyway, let's cite some information from the Daily Express talking about Hakim Ziyech before we move on to the next story and talk about today's rumoured replacement. Chelsea are prepared to part ways with Hakim Ziyech for the right price ahead of next season, according to reports. The versatile Moroccan forward signed for a fee of £36 million during Frank Lampard's tenure last summer, but has seen his influence restricted to a bit part role under Thomas Tuchel, with the likes of Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic and Timo Werner ahead of him in the Blues pecking order. Yeah, and obviously Hakim Ziyech as well. Ziyech only managed 6 goals and 4 assists in all competitions during an underwhelming campaign, and was overlooked by the Chelsea boss for the last month's Champions League final, spending the entirety of the match as an unused substitute. That's a little bit unfair because, you know, lots of good players sometimes miss out in a final. And he did score important goals against Man City and stuff, so he has turned up in big games, but ultimately his numbers have been underwhelming, half due to injury, half due to, I guess, poor form. Like I also said in the previous video recently, he has dropped some absolute stinkers, proper, not to say disaster class, but really poor games, you know. He established himself as one of European football's most exciting attackers during his previous spell with Ajax, but struggled to replicate his form of old on a regular basis since making a switch to Stamford Bridge. The Blues are likely to see a number of players depart over the coming months, with Kayo Tomori expected to become the club's first casualty of the summer transfer window. It seems Ziyech could be set to follow players out of the exit door, with Chelsea said to be open to the possibility of selling the 28-year-old this summer. The Blues will listen to offers for his services and are willing to cash in if an appropriate bid is tabled, according to Calcio Mercato. Right, you never know where these stories are coming from, but often they come from somewhere. A rumour, a word, or this, that, and the other. And I guess you could probably theoretically entertain a story like this because of his, you know, perhaps Tuchel not choosing him so much. You know, I forgot that term I used earlier. That was hilarious. That was a shame. But, you know, Tuchel not trusting him, probably retaining some value because he's still scored against big teams. He's still been a part of the Champions League winning squad. Still recognised as a very talented player. Chelsea, you'd think, would get their money back on him-ish. Maybe if Tuchel has sat down with the board and Marina and people and says, look, you know, like, I want a different kind, you know, this guy's very good. I can see why Lampard wanted him in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, but for my system, he's not really perfect, and he's probably the, you know, the weakest link in that type of player profile. I'm happy to keep him because he's quality, but if you want, you know, if you want me to really give my opinion, I could bring in a winger that would do more, or a wide forward that would do more. Maybe. All speculation, of course. I am merely just reading a headline and reacting to it out loud with you, my friends here. So maybe if a winger was to go, it could be Hakim Ziyech, which would be a shame. But we move, it's football, it's life, new managers come in with new designs and certain players become obsolete. We'll see what happens there. I'll of course keep you updated on any exits throughout the summer. Make sure you're subscribed to Football Therapy. Let's move on to the next story and talk about a potential rumoured replacement, Kingsley Coman. Right, Coman is a young and exciting player that plays for Bayern Munich, been linked with Chelsea many times, of course. He's been around for ages and is still so young. At the young age of 24, the Frenchman has already played for Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus and Bayern Munich. Loads of experience at multiple European powerhouses, and of course is still only 24, yet to enter his prime. Now I'm going to be citing an article from Court Offside in just a moment, talking to you about how Chelsea apparently got an advantage over Manchester United, but Manchester United are very, very likely to get Jadon Sancho as things stand at the moment. Now, just to go back to what I was talking about, Thomas Tuchel's wingers and Hakim Ziyech, who's to say Kingsley Coman is more appropriate for Tuchel's system than Ziyech? Well, Tuchel, you know, so the whole part of this video is speculation. Of course, he's a Bundesliga player. Thomas Tuchel will know him very, very well. He'll know him very, very well because he was affiliated with Paris Saint-Germain. People might have talked about him. He would have watched him loads in the Bundesliga, of course. So he'll know a lot about him. Of course, Tuchel speaks French and German, so that would be perfect for Coman. And maybe he's looked at him and gone, damn, you know, this guy's good, this guy could fit my design. And before I cite this article quickly, let me just say that I did look at his numbers this season, Kingsley Coman, and he's sort of played, not a bit part, I think he's played like around 1,700 minutes in the Bundesliga. You know, a player that sort of really rinses it, plays maybe 1,000 more minutes. So he's not been a substitute player, but he's been rotated in and out, and he's still got, you know, 10 assists, double figures for assists in the league. Yes, he's playing for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, so pinch your salt. Still got 5 goals. He's still got 3 goals and 2 assists in the Champions League. I think he averages a goal involvement across the Bundesliga and Champions League every, I don't know, 110 minutes or something. Pretty good, really, for a winger. Do you know what I mean? So that, you know, good numbers. Could he replicate that in the Premier League? Who knows? but maybe if this story is to be believed that maybe Thomas Tuchel is looking at him, it would be a player profile type thing. Anyway, let's jump into this article and give you some insight. Chelsea and Manchester United are both being linked with a potential transfer swoop for Bayern Munich winger Kingsley Coman. However, it could be that the Blues are more likely to sign Coman for a variety of reasons. According to Bild, as translated by the Daily Express, Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel's Bundesliga connections could put them in a good position, as well as the French contingent at the club. Yeah, well, we got French players, we got German players, come aboard. The report adds that Chelsea could price Man United out of a deal which is likely to cost around £55 million, though it could also be the Red Devils are prioritising a move for Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Chelsea would surely benefit on signing Coman as an upgrade on inconsistent performers like Ziyech, Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think that's a little bit unfair because we know Hudson-Odoi is incredibly talented, as is Pulisic, and on Ziyech they all have great talent. So yes, they've been inconsistent, but you know, I think it's a little bit like unsavoury to say upgrade. Like I said, the whole notion of this would be a settled player profile to come and fit his system, maybe. And to be honest, I wouldn't feel so comfortable personally for someone like Kingsley Coman to come in and replace Hudson-Odoi, you know, maybe even Pulisic, but whatever, let's read on. However, United could do well to sign the France international to give them a bit more of the spark and attack after a disappointing season from the likes of Martial, Lingard and Daniel James. Lingard's been excellent and he's been at West Ham for half the season. Both Chelsea and United need to strengthen this summer if they are to emerge as more serious title contenders next season, with Manchester City finding it all too easy this term. That's true, but to be honest, Manchester United, if they're looking at Kingsley Coman, it's if they can't get Jadon Sancho for some reason. And if Chelsea were being linked to Jadon Sancho, I don't know why. I mean, I've talked about that in previous videos, go back and watch it. Kingsley Coman, again, you could say I don't know why, but potentially in the context of replacing a Hakim Ziyech if Thomas Tuchel so desires and finds it will work better in the system. What do you guys think? Get down in the comment section below, express your thoughts, feelings and opinions on the winger situation. Would you be happy for, say, a Coman to replace a Ziyech? Do you think that would help? Just put it aside from the striker at the moment and think about the wide forwards. Comment down below, let me hear your opinion, drop a like if you've enjoyed the content, go watch the Football Yannick video now by clicking the link in the description, go show some love there. Thanks for hanging out my friends, enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck, I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk, outline my lines, I rap through thought, body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble, I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.